Okay, so here I'm going to be doing the Taylor family tree. It's from my great grandma Dorothy Cook. She was married to Charles Cook. Her dad was Earl Ross Taylor and mom Callie Jane Harper. Then we come up a line to a John B. Taylor Jr. and a Nettie Mae Hoggett. This and then after that, and I got worried here because I was like John Burton Taylor. I have Burton on my dad's side already. I was like, but this is more like a middle name, I guess. They just gave him a middle name, John Burton Taylor. I was like, goodness, if I have Burton on both sides, that'd be kind of crazy. So John B. Taylor Jr., then John and Elizabeth Cravens was his mom, and then you go up the Taylor line more. We have Annis Gray Taylor and George M. Taylor Sr. And then I'm going this way now through the mother's side, just because that was kind of interesting. Sort of just the path I got suckered into follow. We have a John Gray and a Susanna Land. And then coming up through them, we have a John W. Gray and an Ann E. Wells Gray. And then coming up through this Gray side, we have a James Gray and Elizabeth Parks Gray. And then William James Gray and a Sarah C.G. Turner had James Gray. But this is the side I was actually going through, this one right here, because Elias Sharp is sort of the one that spun a giant thing. So Elizabeth Parks Gray and John Parks and Mary Sharp Parks had Elias Sharp. And Elias Sharp was married to, or had a Margaret Proctor. Through him, George Sharp and Elizabeth Peck. This George Sharp, his mom was Margaret Beall, and his father Thomas Sharp. Now this Beall line, there's actually some famous characters in, and that's how I got kind of, the most famous one is probably this Colonel Ninian Bell. And I guess there's a ton of people related to this guy. This guy's super famous. Elizabeth Jane Gordon, Thomas Sharp, Margaret McDowell. Continue on through this one. Then we have Dr. James Bell and Anne Mary Calvert as his parents. And I guess this is like kind of a debatable thing. I guess some people say the parents are different. So I have no idea why it would show me these ones, but then other people, it's the same guy but different parents. I guess it's kind of a weird thing. I guess I dig into that more. So then after Dr. James Bell, and even this guy here, Dr. James Bell, he's a famous guy too. He was like a theologian, I guess, or at a college. And then going up through him, we have a Sir Alexander Bill and a Margaret Ramsay. And then we have William Bill and Margaret Patterson as his parents. And then Robert Bill here. And then coming down through here, we have a John Patterson, a Mary Patterson, a William Thomas Ramsay, and a Margaret Burt Elliott. And that is kind of where I stopped there, because I guess the Taylor tree, I went down through Elias Sharp. I got into these Bills, and these Bills were kind of interesting characters, especially these two right here. And so that's why I wanted to show. Obviously, I still have a lot of tracing to still do. Like I have leaves that are open that I'm still working on, but that was kind of interesting.